Oh, my name is Eric, and I play Korgoth.
There we go. I forgot to unmute myself. Let me try that one more time. I knew I was going to do that. Sorry about that, guys. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Ever Sidequesters One D&D live stream campaign and podcast. This will be redundant for all my players because they just heard me say it, but, hey, that's the fun of being a unprofessional live streamer and whatnot. So, tonight I'm Andrew, and I will be your DM playing the game here as, Dungeon Master and Game Master and so on. And with that, we have my friends and family members. Eric.
My name is Eric, and I play Korgoth Gloryhammer, the Minotaur Paladin.
I am Mike, and I am playing Marco Brambleheart, the Halfling Bard.
I am Scott, and I'm playing Schmeppylock, the Gnome Wizard.
I'm Sean, and I'm playing Durgon Stonefist, the Dwarf Barbarian.
Okay, and with that, any little bit of business we have going on here, as I may have mentioned, or you guys missed because my mic was muted, we're playing once again in the Crucible Magazine's quest for the loot of the Bonny Bard, or Treasures of the Bonny Bard. Don't quite remember exactly the name of it, but it's part of the Crucible Magazine, and it's meant for players levels 1 to 2, and to get them to level 3 because everyone loves to skip to level 3, generally speaking. I don't. I love to torture my players with level 1. Especially when you die and have to start over and everyone's like level 10. So, what else do we have going on here? Who wants to remind our viewers and listeners at home what happened in our last game? Anyone? For some inspiration, maybe?
I was not here. So everything was dark. Do I get inspiration?
Half an inspiration.
Yay!
Well, for those that don't remember or are a little, are unfamiliar, last time when we left, Marco, our bard, was a little infatuated with the Mastercraft loot that he had found and the jewel, the necklace also, that was stashed away in the Bonny Bard's hut. And everyone else decided to move on in search of the treasure that they were looking for because of this map that was left behind in the bottle here that washes the shore. So they moved on following the river and headed up north from the embankment here, the camp, followed the river north, had a couple encounters, and found their way to a cave system after debating back and forth of either to go to this cave center with the skull and crossbones or off to the left here, which has, something else that looks like a potential cave system. But with that, the group let Marco know that they were heading north and to catch up whenever he was ready, and made their way to this, skull and crossbones on the map here that everyone can see me currently pointing to for those at home. Yes, Pepperidge Farms remembers. So with that, as our players made their way through the cave systems at the waterfall and found themselves on the outside, they encountered a rather strange, tall, blue-skinned goblin and began helping them after talking with this goblin for a little while. Now, as we shift back to our players, but more so Marco here, we're going to talk to Marco for a little bit and see what he was thinking about when he got his hands on this Mastercraft loot. So, Marco, if you wouldn't mind, why were you so infatuated with this loot, and what was it about it that kept you from adventuring with the party and stayed here at the hut for a little while?
I wanted to see if the Bonny Bard had actually signed this, because then I could hawk it for a lot more loot.
That is very true and very possible. So
this is the treasure of the Bonny Bard.
You sit here and you spend some time looking over this loot, and as you do, you flip it over and take a look at this loot, and you do find that carved into the backside of the fretboard in the rosewood is a name, and the name is Arnaldo Brightbottle.
Oh yeah, this is what we're looking for.
More than likely, you believe this belonged to the Bonny Bard before he either, potentially passed away here on the island, or that he was, somehow rescued. Something happened, and, unfortunately his loot and this necklace was left behind. Now, if you want, go ahead and give me some kind of an appraisal check. What kind of skill you think would be good here?
History, probably.
Yeah, let's go with history. Yeah, we'll say history.
Because I would either say that or investigation for inspecting for damage and stuff like that.
Sure.
Both are intelligence checks.
Whichever is higher, whatever one is better for you. Give me a history or a investigation check. Okay, so we have an 11. And that was what? History? Okay.
Yep.
So, generally speaking, styles and not necessarily manufacturing, but building, the way crafters build loots and whatnot, they change over the years. So, being a bard, more than likely, you're well versed in the different styles and representations of loots from across the continents. With this one, you're not too terribly familiar with this style of loot. Maybe this was custom created on his own. Maybe Arnaldo built it. Who knows? But you have a good feeling after looking over this that this loot is probably worth easily 200 gold if you were to find the right buyer for it. But on top of that, being a bard yourself, this is a masterfully crafted loot, and you could easily use this yourself if you wanted to, upgrade your loot as it is from the one that you've been using. That's maybe a little more, seen some wear and tear on it, and could potentially use some fixing or whatnot.
Well, I'll just use mine until the wheels fall off, basically.
Okay. So more than likely with that, you'll end up stuffing the loot in your backpack or strapping it in and taking it along. The next thing you have is the necklace that you also found along with the loot. If you want to go ahead and give me a investigation on that, we can take a look at that.
I mean, honestly, I don't have it prepared. I was going to say I can just identify, but I don't know. Also, don't even have the pearl, so derp.
So I've just shared with you the artwork here of this necklace that Marco found.
You just stopped me from making my history check. All right. Off to a great start.
Okay. An 8, definitely have no
Costume
idea.
piece.
Yeah. You definitely think this is some kind of a costume piece. Maybe not so much in the terms of potential powerful items here, but why don't you go ahead and also roll me an Arcana check, just for the sake of it.
All right, straight roll.
Yeah. I don't know. You're not quite sure. You've never really seen anything like this. It's interesting. There could be something to this later on. Maybe checking with your fellow player or fellow adventurers. Maybe they'll know something about it. But for the time being, like you said, probably just a showpiece, costume artwork or whatnot. Costume piece, and you throw it in your backpack. And what do you want to do?
I guess I will try to follow the path that the party took, now that I've snapped out of my reverie.
Okay. So, as I said before in our little pre-chat here, you don't spend too terribly long looking this over. You can kind of still hear the trails of them as they walk along into the forest. Although, after a few minutes of looking this over and then starting to head out, the noises of the group just vanish in the chirpings and the sounds and the rumblings of the jungle at large here. So the group let you know that they were running off to the north and that they would be heading towards the skull and crossbones marked on the map. Now, because you're in the hut of the Bonny Bard, there are loads of other treasure maps there. So definitely easy enough to see if you wanted to see where to go next and how to get there.
All right. Well, we'll look for any notable landmarks on any of the maps that are north of me, and then I will start heading out in that direction.
Okay. And with that, we will transition back to the shaman hut with all of our other players and catch back up with them as they are currently dealing with the this blue-skinned shaman goblinoid here. Now, let me see something real quick before we get going into that. Where are you hiding? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, there we go. View character artwork, show the players. There we go. That's what I tried to do last week. I forgot how to do that. So, for my players at home, for my players playing the game here, they didn't really get a good view of the goblin shaman that they encountered. But now that now that I've remembered how to show the players the artwork, this is what they're looking at for this this strange 5-foot-tall goblinoid creature here with blue skin. And yeah, as you guys have been diligently collecting materials for this goblin, and you start repairing the roof of the hut, so much time passes, maybe another couple hours or so, and as per usual, unfortunately, Kurgath, I'm going to need you to roll me another Constitution save against just the sweltering heat of this jungle. Even though you are a little higher up, it's just unbearable, as per usual.
And you said con save, right?
Yep, a con save. Alright, 16 will definitely do it, and you are able to push through past the just the uncomfortableness of this jungle island and volcano. Alright then. So, you all spend some time helping patch up this roof here, and like I said, a few hours go by, and the goblin is very grateful for your assistance in this matter here, and after everything's done, the goblin says to you all, "Okay, you very good, you my people now. This good, be my people." You can go past. But first, before you go, one moment, please. And the goblin goes into his hut and grabs a few things out and then starts walking back and forth. The first thing, as you all help the goblin out with patching up the roof, he rewards you with one really just full bottle of cheap wine. He just hands over to you this bottle of wine, and you can see that it looks very familiar from the other bottles of wine that were back in the Bonny Bard's hut. The other thing he hands you is another stone tablet, and the shaman here hands it to you. Goes, "The bard leave message. I can't read, but maybe this help you." And on the tablet, whoever wants to take it from the shaman, you'll find this next verse on it. "Out onto a cliff didst I stumble, treading carefully lest I should tumble. One wrong step here would spell the end, then surely this sonnet would not be penned. Toward the giant rock I headed next, and hid my treasure beneath the X." I think I lost all my players. Alright, hold on.
I'm here.
I don't see anyone in Foundry all of a sudden.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
I'm on the map.
Yeah, I moved over to the map to look at that while,
Alright, hold on. I'm going to
Oh,
reload
no,
the
there it is.
application.
You have lost connection to the server.
Yep. Alright, I just reloaded. Let me see what's going on there with the invitation. The invitation link there. Just make sure everything's good there.
Quick question regarding magic.
Yes.
Do I need to
Server
worry about
connection
material
reestablished.
components?
Yes. If something says it requires, an expensive piece of material, then you're going to need to have bought that or have gotten your hands on it somehow. Otherwise, a component pouch or the spell focus will be just fine to cover that spot.
Gotcha. So what's the sort of cutoff for that? Like, example, Blast needs holy water as part of the casting, it says.
All right, so for that, if it needs it but doesn't give a monetary requirement, so like with identification, you need a pearl worth like 100 gold pieces. Since it's just holy water, that can be replaced with either a component pouch, which in theory has the component in it, or your spell focus works for the material component. So, your spell focus could be like a crystal ball or something that you hold in your hand. That spell focus replaces the need for actual holy water.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so everyone should be good there. Looks like just waiting on Sean. Looks like Sean hasn't made it back in yet.
And Eric just reconnected, so he's got to get back over.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Sorry, laptop slow.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm but like I said, I'm just on the treasure map, so I
there we
can
go.
take a look at that while I'm going over the missive.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Just everyone all of a sudden just dropped off. My internet must have hiccuped or something.
Yeah, the VTT had to reconnect
Yeah.
for Foundry.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what it said. There was a little pop-up for it.
All right, so as we're reconnecting here, who takes the of the three of you that are here with the goblin shaman? Who takes the stone tablet from him?
Who's got the other tablets?
I believe
our
it was
collective
either
group bag.
Marco or Schmebulok, I think, were holding on to the...
Not I, said the fly.
I have it to move this along.
There we go. Okay.
All right, Shmebulok's got the tablet.
All right, so Shmebulok takes the tablet from the goblin shaman, and then you review it, you get the message in the next part of the verse, and then he asks you very inquisitively, what does tablet say?
The tablet?
Because as a reminder from our last game, the shaman doesn't realize that the bard, from what you got here in this moment, doesn't realize that the bard had ever gotten past this section here and went beyond into like the more holier area of this jungle and this volcano.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell him that we're still trying to figure this out, because obviously, he doesn't want us to progress, and we want to progress, so don't want to really let him in on all the details.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, well, one of the things that may have gone...
Well, yeah, that was why we had helped fix the roof, so he'd let us buy it.
Yes, he does say, like, after the roof is fixed after a couple hours of, patching up the roof, he said, "You are now my people. This is good for you." And he starts handing you things. And the first two things, like I said, he hands you are the cheap bottle of wine and the tablet. And then as you're looking over the tablet and he's waiting for the response, he goes back into the hut and starts handing you things. All right, he goes in and pulls a few things out and starts handing you stuff. And
You mean like going trick-or-treating to a person whose house wasn't prepared, and they're like, here you go, here's an ashtray, brandy snifter.
yeah, basically, yeah. No, actually, what happens is as he's handing you things, Shmebulok, first he comes up to you with a book, and he has a very interesting looking book, and he gives it to you, and he goes, "This probably good for you. Book of stars and names, I'm told." And you now have yourself a book here that will unlock your class feature, which we will talk about in a few moments here. And then,
Ooh.
as he goes back in to his hut, he comes back out and he is holding a vest of strips of blue leather that look very similar to the leathers that are hanging up in the hut that he is living in. And he kind of looks this over and he looks at you, Durgon, and he goes, "This probably good for you." And he hands you this blue reinforced vest that I'll show you in just a minute as I throw them into your character sheets. And then for Kurgath, he comes up to you, "And you, big friend, this for you." And he hands you this warhammer, but the warhammer itself is different. Like the way the flat sides of the warhammer act, it looks like it could pierce through armor a little better. And I'll explain what these things do in just a moment as I throw them into your character sheets for you all to see.
My thanks.
Okay, so Durgon here, you're going to get something. All right, so Durgon, I'm throwing that into your inventory. So you have a blue reinforced vest, and this is a non-magical item, but what this does is as you wear it, it won't give you any benefits for armor, but what it will do, oh, there it goes again. Everyone dropped off.
Oh no, well, I can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah, its Discord is still connected. I'll explain as you all come back on. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know, I'm still loading pages all right.
Yeah. It's just Foundry, for some reason, it's having an issue. And I have an Ethernet cord attached too, which, I did this just to stop this sort of thing from happening.
I disconnected, but I just reconnected too, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kurgath, your blue reinforced vest. What this does is it doesn't give you an AC boost, but what it does do is give you resistance to slashing damage. And the shaman goes, "We have many feral animals with slashing claws. This help protect you." And he hands the reinforced vest to you, which is now in your equipment.
In Durgon.
Durgon. Yes, Durgon. Sorry. Who did I say? Kurgath?
Yeah.
Okay.
My thanks.
Kurgath, for you, he hands you what I'm calling a dire warhammer. Now, it's not much different than than a standard warhammer. Oh, shoot. Let me get rid of that real quick. Hold on.
Dire Warhammer. Nice.
What the dire warhammer does is this one hits a little differently and has an increased critical range from 19 to 20. So you'll crit on 19 to 20 now instead of just 20. It's not magical, and there's no increased 2-hit or damage, but you do have a higher chance to crit now. So you go from 5 to 10% for Kurgath, okay?
Oh, fuck yeah. So, yeah.
And then for Shmebulok, while you're looking through your book, Shmebulok,
Yeah.
you start to flip through the pages, and a piece of paper falls out from the book itself. And as you go to grab for this one page that you're thinking oh, how old is this book? The spells or the pages are falling out. You actually find a spell scroll tucked away in the pages of this book. And within this is a level 1 spell of Magnify Gravity.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that into your inventory. When you have the money and time to do so, it is a level 1 wizard spell. When you have the time to do so, you can go ahead and drop that into your book.
Gotcha.
So, where's that hiding? Where'd that go? Oh, it's in your consumables. So, you have the spell scroll of Magnify Gravity. So those are for you guys as the shaman hands those all to you. And as we're waiting for... what we got here? Mike. Looks like Mike is not back in. We'll take a moment to just... that's a level 3 champion feature. Yes, Hair Doctor. We're getting a little head for our paladin here. The Warhammer gives an increased
I'm going to try
attack
reloading
range.
Foundry.
Oh man, it just dropped again. I don't know what is going on here.
Yeah, it dropped me. Like, I tried reloading, and it just dropped me again as I was reloading.
It's saying the internet's fine. I don't know what the deal is with Foundry tonight. It's really strange.
Firewall, maybe?
No, I updated the firewall. Everyone should be good to go. I don't know what the issue is. Anyways, where was I going with this? Yeah, so while we're waiting for everyone to come back in, looks like we now are just waiting for Sean again. 3 of our 4 Ever Sidequesters have leveled up to level 2 from last week's game. So, anyone want to describe what they got for level 2? That's if you remember.
Yeah. So for my level 2, I get my wizard for a subclass, and I've chosen onomancy, which is like naming magic, understanding the true names of things. And then that allows me to modify and change my spells to either hurt the enemy or help us more if I know the true name of who we're helping or hurting.
Yeah, and the one thing about the onomancy is that this was an unearthed arcana subclass that never really went too far, but I've gone ahead and looked over the spell, or looked over the subclass, and have been making a few changes to how the subclass works based off of certain things that are happening now with the newer versions of D&D. So instead of it being, intelligence-based times per day or half your, wizard level or something, it's now based on proficiency bonuses and so on. So there's a few changes to the Unearthed Arcana material that have made this should be better in essence. We'll see how it goes. So yes, that is Shmebulok's level 2 feature. He got himself the onomancy spell, the school there. And the goblin handing him the book is what introduces him to this school. So, there you go. Also, Scott, I still need 2 spells for leveling up to level 2 to add to your spell book at some point.
Do you get? I thought I had to find all the spells.
Nope.
As a wizard.
Nope. At every level, you get 2 free spells.
Oh, must have missed that. And absorb elements, 2 level 1 spells.
Okay, so absorb elements, I can definitely throw that in. Let's see here, Shmebulok, while we're waiting.
Yeah, I was prepared for that one.
Oh, perfect. There it is. Absorb elements, and what else?
Featherfall.
Featherfall, okay.
After reading that last thing and talking about precarious ledges and stuff, I feel like could be useful.
Yes. Now, the issue, though, is that because you just got these spells, they're not ready yet. So you have
prepare them until... Would that be long rest or short rest? Long rest?
Long rest, yeah.
Yeah, I need to read more about the wizard.
Just take it like a dwarf and land on your head.
Okay, so they're in your spellbook. I've just ticked them off so that they are not prepared right now.
Yeah, and I'm reading the part about the 2 wizard spells.
Okay, perfect. All right. So with that, and yes, there is also some of our people here watching in the live stream were mentioning that we do also have a parrot as well. So there's a pet parrot that I don't remember what the name was. What did you guys name the parrot?
Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich. Perfect. There we go. Oh, God. All right, come on. That's right. I got to go in and fix the... Oh, is it not letting me do anything? Okay, there we go. That updated, and update the name. Friendly. There we go. Everything else should be good. Perfect. There we go. All right. Yeah, is anyone still having problems getting back in?
No, I think I'm in.
If I watch the screen every couple minutes, we'll say disconnected, but if I just let it sit, it just automatically reconnects.
Yeah.
Okay. Weirdly enough, it looks like my invitation link has changed. Every time this thing jumps, All right, give me a second here to fix this. I got to go into my router settings. Okay. I don't know why that's doing that. It's very strange. So yes, we that's what Shmebulok gets for being a level 2 wizard. Durgon, what do you get for level 2 barbarian?
Once I reconnect, I got danger sense.
Okay.
I also got reckless attack, and more importantly, more hit points.
So many hit points.
A lot of hit points. It's ridiculous.
Now it's saying this site can't be reached.
Yeah, I gotta give you a new link because the old one isn't working. Although Eric just got in somehow.
Hey, it just auto-loaded me.
Yeah, I find if I just leave it, it'll eventually kick in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. I'm loading.
Let's see.
Need to know your names. And my level one last thing, my level 2, I get to learn a new language as part of my onomancy, and I'm gonna pick Celestial.
Yeah.
Go along with the thematics.
Cool. Okay, Mike, if you're still having issues, I've updated the link in the chat there to get in, which should be able to get you in now. Provided we
Yeah, it
don't
looked
have
like I was in it before, but I wasn't able to open my character sheet or anything. So I'm just going to rejoin.
Okay. And then...
Sure. I'm back in. I now have 32 hit points.
What?
32 hit points at level 2.
Still gets one shot by a kobold.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is due to, 1 being a barbarian, so it's a d12 in hit points, and then your dwarven toughness for a racial feat, right? Or dwarven resilience, I think it's called.
Dwarven.
Yeah.
And then also you pick the level 1 tough feat from One D&D, so you've got an absurd amount of hit points. Oh man, this is silly. All right.
I'll protect the back line, guys.
All right, so
You're a backdoor man.
looks like everyone is back in, thankfully. Everyone can see the game and get to their character sheets.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
All right. So then, as you know, you've got your new equipment, and then as some time goes on, we shift to just ever so briefly, as you're making your way and ducking through the areas, Marco, you find yourself at that at the falls there. Let me switch that over real quick to the map there for the scene. Where is it? That one hiding. There we go. Yeah. We'll shift everyone back over to here. Hopefully it doesn't break stuff. So, at a certain point, Marco, you find yourself here at this waterfall section. You know, there's the waterfall to the right, which as you look up, you can see you're getting closer to the volcano and what have you. And then directly ahead of you is the cave entrance. This cave entrance here is littered with yellowed bones and, you know, precarious rocks and whatnot, as there is another section of water that looks like it was bisected by this cave sections going on here. And you have the cave entrance to you.
So yellow bones, but no fresh ones.
Not from the looks of things, no.
Looks good. I'll advance. Quietly.
Okay. So you advance into the cave system and find yourself inside. Do you have dark vision?
As a halfling, I do not.
Okay. So, you walk into this cave entrance, and let me see here. I'm not going to bother going into it. You come into the cave entrance, and what you see in front of you is basically the reflecting lights. But as you walk into the cave itself, there are a series of blue glowing mushrooms that line the walls of this cave system. And as you're looking along, there's a slight bit of ambient light that comes off from these mushrooms, and you can see the reflections of the cave. It's humid in here. It's very, very just wet with moisture, and you can see that there are 3 paths ahead of you. There's a path to the left, a path directly in front, and a path off to the right. And the interesting thing is that the path off to the right, you see more blue glowing mushrooms down that way, but you're not quite sure about the other 2 paths. What would you like to do, Marco, as you enter into this cave system?
I will continue to follow the glowing mushrooms and use what ambient light there is without adding my own, because if I light a torch, it could actually trigger something.
Hair Doctor suggesting you eat the mushrooms.
And gain their glowing strength.
Mm.
Tempting, okay. But I will pass.
Okay, so you follow the right path, and as you go into the right path over here, which some of my viewers here for the live stream will see, you come immediately to another T intersection. So this T intersection will head north and south. Now, if you continue to notice, this north path goes dark. But if you look at the south, there's more blue glowing mushrooms this way. Which way would you like to go, north or south?
I will continue to follow the glowing mushrooms.
Okay. You continue to follow the glowing mushrooms, and the path becomes very linear here. As you are following the path, you are noticing that you are also climbing up higher and higher into this volcanic, mountainous region here. But eventually, as you make your way along these paths as they wind and curve through this mountain, you start to see daylight again. And after a few moments here, you can hear the familiar sounds of your companions. And you eventually come out to, this hut. Alright, so I will activate that real quick and put everyone back into the scene here. There's Ham Sandwich flying around. And you come out and notice that all of your friends, or your adventuring companions here, and especially your bodyguard, Kurgath, are being handed stuff by this very strange, tall, blue goblin shaman. And, you're reunited once again with your companions. Everyone else, go ahead and give me a perception check, please. And if you get below your passive, give me the passive. All right, Kurgath has a 6, so he's very interested more in the hammer than with the noises around him.
Yeah, so that would put me on 11.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I hit the wrong button there.
That will be my floor.
I'm a little busy pulling my shirt over my head and putting the vest on.
Okay, so Shmebulok, you're the one with the highest perception here with a 16, and you hear the sounds of footsteps coming up through the cave. And as you turn, you see the ever so small features of the plucky bard Marco looking at you all as you're investigating this book and the spell scroll that you've received. What would you like to do?
Big Wave, where have you been, you old arsehole?
I lost you guys through all the trees.
A likely story.
And Kurgath and Durgan, you hear this from Shmebulok, and you can see his direction. And sure enough, as you look over, you are once again reunited with Marco. And as Marco, you say this, the goblin shaman gets a little defensive and he goes, "Who he? Who this?" As he goes into a very strange posture.
Oh, he's a friend of ours. He fell behind, had to go visit a bush.
Oh, okay. If he with you, then he also my people. That's good then. So, you all have received a little bit of treasure. You've got yourselves the next tablet. And what would you all like to do now that, you've gotten to this point? I'm sure, you guys can spend a little bit of time of updating Marco with what's happened.
Yes.
Okay. So, going back over...
Marco, we built this guy a roof, and he gave us some stuff, and he's going to let us buy.
Well, that's good. I mean, it saves me a lot of trouble. Thank you, guys.
And, this shaman looks over at you, Marco, and says, "Oh, you Bard too. You know other Bard?"
I know lots of bards.
Oh, how many bards are there? He's just very, very inquisitive at the moment now that, he's recognized you as a bard since you've been, kind of carrying your loot around with you and you have the Bonny Bard's loot strapped to the side.
There's a world of bards out there.
Oh, interesting.
And all the world's a stage.
Have you seen the bard? And he points to the loot strapped to the side. Is he okay?
He was not at the hut when we looked for him.
Oh, curious. Have not.
Do you know if he's left the island?
I do not know. I have not seen him for some time now.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if we find any sign of him, we'll be sure to let you know.
Ah, thank you. I would be very happy with that. He is a good friend. And
I'll go as an aside to Shmeb, be like, he probably owes the goblin money.
there's a good chance of that. Who knows?
Oh yeah, isn't he wearing like the bard's necklace or something?
Nah, it's in my pack, stowed away.
Well, actually, now that you do look at the shaman, he is wearing a necklace with a metal note, like a musical note on it. So it looks like the shaman has at least visited with, or the bard has, visited with the shaman at one point or another. Yeah, it was a detail from last week. I forgot to share about it. But
oh, okay.
Yeah. But the shaman goes, now that you are my people, you may continue ahead if you would like. Visit top of volcano and seek guidance with volcano.
Wait, the volcano talks?
The volcano speaks in its natural ways. I am here to gain the guidance to help my people.
Does the
Great.
volcano
Now all I
have a
can
name?
imagine. All I can imagine now is this goblin is actually Abe Vigoda from Joe versus Volcano.
That's what I was thinking of.
What was that, Scott, you were saying?
Oh, just the volcano does have a name.
Oh.
Woo.
Not off the top of my head.
The Great Woo.
Yeah, well, there we go.
I'm going to be asking you that probably a lot.
Yeah.
Be aware.
Called Elder because it's always grumbling.
True. Yeah. 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 There we go. He'll go. The name of volcano is Elder Wu. I visit Elder Wu once every moon cycle to gain guidance for my people.
Well, what guidance does the Elder Wu offer for us now?
There are many disturbances in world as of late. Some closer away than others. Just recently there was a great rumbling in the oceans. Very, very far from here, but the volcano speak to me about it.
So, what's giving the Great Wu indigestion?
That has yet to be understood. Hopefully next time I will have more information about what makes the volcano rumble.
Okay, and I just want to point out that you mean next time as in, like, not next week right now. 'Cause
No.
It's only 5:46. Okay.
No.
I was like, damn, that was a hell of a lead-in, but it's only been 45 minutes.
Nope, not yet.
That depends more on what Foundry thinks right now.
Yeah, right. With all the disconnects with Foundry, I was like, we might have to cut this one short today. I don't know. Anyways. Maybe you can speak with Volcano and gain guidance on this and to tell me what you find. And with that,
You know what? I'll
Go
give
ahead.
it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
with that, he goes, the shaman goes, now, unfortunately, I must get back to creating more of these blue leathers for my people. They are very required to protect them from the dangers of the jungle. You may pass and go further along if you'd like, or head back down into the cave and into the main jungle. And with that, he turns about and starts, paying you really no mind.
Awesome. Shall we continue up, guys?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you all bid farewell to the shaman in one way or another, and without really looking at you, he just kind of gives you a wave while he's focused on curing and tanning these leathers. And as you walk away, you'd see that he takes a bit of the fresh leather, moves to the pool of water that's up here, and then dips them into the waters. And as he's dipping them, they start to change from their, light browns and dark browns into this blued skin that you see. So there's something mystical and magical about the pond water, at least the lake that's up here with this shaman here, as it turns the leathers into a more resistant, a slashing resistant leathers that helps protect his people.
No, it turns out the pool of water is actually downstream from a Nestle plant, so it's just all the chemical pollution in the water.
Oh no! Oh.
I'll kind of nudge Shmebialak. What do you think would happen if I bathed in that?
I think you would end up with a refreshing scent.
A party full of Smurfs.
Oh,
Oh no. So, you guys carry on. You're now at the top here. If you look at the treasure map, you'll see the pool of water and the shaman hut. And to the left, it looks like the top of the mountain with something odd at the top of it that's marked by the bard here in the treasure map. So, you all continue along the path. And eventually, you find yourselves at along like a crag region. And this may be part of what was in the verse here. And as you all stop, you take a moment to look at the crag and the path here. Why don't you all go ahead and give me a perception check, and of course give me the floor if you get below that.
Ooh, ooh.
A whole bunch of dice here. So, we have an 18 with Marco, 11 to another point, so 11, 14 for Durgan. So, easily, definitely with Marco here, you see, as you're looking at the path, that the crag region in the path here along the mountainside as it goes higher up is very, very dangerous. The walking path, it's like, any typical movie where people have to walk along this crazy, sharp, steep path on a mountainside. And the footpath itself ranges anywhere between 3 feet to 1 foot wide in certain areas. And it does definitely look that the path itself is very unstable. The shaman himself was a little bit more on the nimbler side and more lithe, so probably could easily move through these here, but, bigger people like Kurgath and Durgan might have a harder time walking this path up to the top of the volcano here. And with that, go ahead and just give me an insight check, Marco.
Alright, just a second. Alright, and that's not a natural one, so I don't get to re-roll it.
Yeah, that unfortunately is just a base 1. So, yeah, you see this path that leads up to the this crag here and the ledge. It looks a little unstable, but you're not quite sure. It looks like it's probably sturdy enough to hold all of you. How would you like to proceed as you move further along?
Alright, so all of us crawl on top of Eric's character, and he just sort of like carries all the smalls up?
We'd have to do some calculations on how much weight he could hold versus how much you all weigh.
Question,
I'm
Andy.
just a baby.
Sure, what's up, Sean?
So tremor sense, right?
Yeah.
Is as long as I'm on a stone surface, I will sense movement.
Yeah.
Could I use stone cunning to kind of, as they're crossing the path, let them know whether or not it's going to collapse?
Yes, but how many times can you use that per day?
I have one more use.
Oh, okay, good. I wasn't sure how many times you could use that. Yes, I would totally allow that. You could definitely, send one person along to kind of see how stable it is.
I will do that.
Okay. All right, so then you go ahead and situate yourself with some stone cunning, and you start to, really hone in on your dwarven senses and the mountain and all the rock. Who are you sending first as the guinea pig?
Out of Marco and Schmebulok, which one looks stronger?
I have a strength of 8. I have negative strength.
Probably Marco, then?
My wisdom's at a negative, so you'd have an easier time convincing me.
Okay. Marco.
Yes?
You can walk out along the ledge. Right.
You know what? Given my insight check, I believe this.
And if anything's going to happen, I can tell you so that you can get out of there. Can you get across the other side and kind of find a way to anchor a rope for safety?
I mean, I've never done this before, but sure, let's give it a shot.
Just to give you an
Should we tie a
idea.
rope to him before he goes over?
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, Scott was suggesting tying a rope to him before he starts heading over.
Oh, sure, yeah.
As someone who does fall rest work, that makes me feel better.
Just to give you a little bit more visual, it's not like if you were to fall, it would be a one sheer drop down to the bottom of the jungle. There are a variety of, you could say, ledges or steps, but they are within 10 to 15 feet each time they go down. So if you were to fall from this ledge, you'd probably hit one, and that would make you fall. You would take some fall damage from that, and then if you were somehow to unfortunately fall again, you would. So it would be like one of those like kind of deals of like falling down, hitting, falling kind of things. It's not like one.
It was a
sheer
long
drop.
fall, but I made a few stops along the way.
Yeah.
And if you do fall, just whatever you do, don't bounce.
Bouncing bad, got it.
Okay, so Marco, how are you progressing, moving along this ledge as you work your way up the mountainside?
I mean, if there's not much of a lip, then I will sort of sidle along the edge, stomach to it, because, well, actually no, I'll take my pack off and drop most of my equipment. So I'll just pretty much just keep my grappling hook and my weapon on me.
Okay.
Or a
And
dagger on me.
what kind of a traveling
rope.
pace would you be doing here? Kind of like a slow, a normal, or a fast pace?
I would say like an investigation pace.
All right, so kind of slow.
Like an active search, yeah.
Okay. All right, so you begin moving across the ledge, Marco, and you can see Durgon holding on to the stones and just kind of listening into how the stone feels. And Durgon, you can feel every footstep he takes as you hone into your dwarven abilities here. And, luckily it doesn't seem like he's in any danger as Marco shimmies along this ledge here, moving further and further along. And
Fantastic.
after a certain point, Marco, you do make your way across without any real issues here. Sidling along and moving through the 3 foot to 1 foot sections and what have you. While it does make your heart race, luckily it's not that big of a deal. And you make you make it to the other side, no issue.
All right, so I will unattach the rope for myself and try to anchor my grappling hook in there as tight as I can. And
Okay.
just let them know that, okay, well, this is as secure as I believe I can get it, because I don't have any pitons or any spikes and a hammer with me, so this is going to have to be as it is. Thankfully, I actually have the grappling hook this time.
Go ahead and give me a survival check to find like as secure a spot as you can to attach the grappling hook to, please.
Let me just double check something real quick.
And don't forget, since you are a bard and the way bardic inspiration works, I think you can, as a reaction, inspire yourself even at level
No.
1. No?
No,
Oh, just
another
unable to?
creature.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Well,
So yeah,
Not
it's going to be.
1D&D, but that was something that Bards got later in levels.
yeah.
Here we go. Hey,
Ooh, very nice. 16. All right. So yeah, you're
rugged outdoorsman that I am.
you find a really good spot to attach the grappling hook to, and you wedge it in there. You give it a couple tugs, and you feel pretty confident that this is a secure location here for whoever's next to cross through these crags and these ledges here to move along.
You know, honestly, I could just see one in my head. It's like, yeah, you secure the grappling hook in there, but it's lost.
I'll tie the rope around my waist and kind of plant myself and look at the other two. Who wants to go next?
You beat me to it. I was going to do the same thing.
So, Kurgath or Schmepulok, who's going?
I'll go for
I'd
it.
rather have you on the other side when I cross, big guy.
Point. Well, we know that lighter weight people can make it across fairly easy, so I would say Schmebulok, you would have the safest chance.
Sweet. Yeah, let's do it.
If anything crumbles from underneath me, it would make it harder for you to get across.
All right, so Schmebulok, how are you moving across this craggy ledge section here?
I also have a rope, so anyway I can attach that to someone who's on firm ground.
Well, it looks
while I
like
go across.
from the way things are set up, the one rope is attached to Durgon, excuse me. Just combine the two. Durgon, and then that rope is across the way and attached with the grappling hook. So you've already got like the one line that is in a pretty good spot as Durgon is Durgon, damn it, I did it again. Durgon is sensing the ground as he's waiting for everyone to cross over.
Gotcha.
And,
So all
and
I'll do is
form the head.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just take the rope and just loop it around myself quickly, and then sort of tie it loosely onto the other rope, so it's sort of like attached to it, and then just walk across that way.
All right. So, what kind of a pace are you going across? Do you feel pretty confident that you've seen?
Casual.
Pretty
not
casual.
worried.
Okay.
I'm lightweight. I weigh nothing.
All right. So you begin walking pretty casually along. You've got the rope tied to you, and you feel pretty confident about this. When suddenly, Durgon, you feel a misstep as Schmebulok hits a bad spot in the crag, and it starts to give way. And sure enough, Schmebulok, you feel this as well, but you don't have any real time to react that well because of Durgon's help here. What would you say to Schmebulok as the path is starting to crumble out from underneath his feet?
Brace, and then I will also brace.
Okay, so Durgon, you brace. Schmebulok, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity save for me, please, as the path gives out under your feet and you start to fall.
Let's do it. You want a saving throw?
Please, yes. 14. Okay. Question. Marco, you're watching this. You have Bardic Inspiration. Do you want to use this on Schmebulok's 14?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll pop it.
All right, go ahead and
Oh, wait,
roll us.
I have to target him, so I need a token on screen.
Okay, here, let me drag that out. Schmebulok, there you go.
Watch it. Say, okay, there I am on seeing your screen too. Okay. And there you go. He should be able to use it now. Oh yeah. There we go.
All right, so
Nice.
a +6 from Marco's inspiration or Bardic Inspiration. What does your Bardic Inspiration sound like or look like, Marco?
Oh jeez.
You're a star.
I'm gonna
root for
start-
yourself.
I'm gonna like clap my hands like in time for what his pace should be.
Okay. Yeah, and with that, you Schmebulok, you end up with a total of a 20 for your dexterity save, thanks to Marco's quick reaction and Bardic Inspiration for your timing. And you're able to, with his clapping, kind of step differently and move your foot out of the way as it gives, as the rock gives way, and you could have easily tumbled off, even though you were tied up a bit, and find yourself. Actually, I meant to have you roll with advantage on that. Sorry, I forgot all about that part. I was excited about Marco, you've got inspiration, or Bardic Inspiration. Anyways, regardless, you make it across, no problem, with Marco's assistance here and Durgon giving you a bit of a warning. All right, so Schmebulok, you are across. So we'll say, we'll use these indications here. Kurgath, looks like you're next to go, I suppose.
Yeah, looks like it.
And with that, before you get moving across, everyone roll me an insight check, please. Okay, we have a 17 from Kurgath, an 8 from Durgan, 13 from Marco. Just waiting for Shmebulok.
I have Bardic Inspiration on me because I got that after I rolled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Oh no.
See, it's supposed to be when he. I don't know. It's not activating properly because it's supposed to be when he's about to fail a check.
Yeah, it's just a reaction now for that. So the Bardic Inspiration technically shouldn't have been added in.
I don't know if it gave me a chance. It just had a single button that I had to hit to continue.
That's all right.
Could be mistaken.
That's all right. He rolled a 6 on the Bardic Inspiration die.
Yeah. All right, so we can subtract that for a total of 7. Kurgath, actually, this is pretty poignant now that it's your turn. You watched Marco go across, and he kind of shimmied and moved very slowly. Shmebulok, on the other hand, kind of moved at more of a casual, standard walking pace, and yet Shmebulok fell, or was about to fall, and Marco didn't. Gives you a little bit of a clue as to potentially how to move along with this.
Oh, there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to move slowly. Being probably the largest and heaviest of the group.
He's a medium creature. He clears it in one pace.
Right?
Just a casual hop.
You just do like one of those just like anime jumps. He's like, and one just like quick jump across.
No, not even just that. Just like long stride, just one step.
Oh,
makes
yeah.
it.
Easily. All right, so Kurgath, setting up, and how do you go across this craggy ravine here and ledge?
Cautiously testing each step by, putting some weight on it, and when it feels safe enough, move forward, continue that way across.
Okay. And sure enough, as you cautiously move across the ledges here and make your way over to the other side, you get across with no issue. And sure enough, Durgan also verifies that as well, letting you know that he didn't feel any kind of there was no kind of indications of ledges breaking or any kind of mishap here. All right, Durgan.
All of us have to skirt the wall to prevent ourselves from falling into a chasm. Kurgath just merely steps over the crack in the sidewalk.
One thing about being the big race.
With the rope still tied around my waist, I'll slowly walk out across and kind of take up the slack as I go.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do that, still having your stone cunning going, you can feel like as you slowly move and loop up the rope, you have no problems getting across to the other side. And your feathery friend comes with you, as there is a parrot, Marco, that you hadn't noticed before.
Yeah, he flutters onto the path and it disappears.
Yes, they made a friend during the last game's encounters through the jungle. And as you listen, it's actually kind of funny. Here and there, the parrot mimics a sea shanty, and we'll say a couple things of like, rum and ale, and it just kind of keeps doing the same kind of verse over and over again, but never really finishes that tune. So it's like one of those really bad broken record deals of like a earworm sort of thing. So it's like he almost finishes the verse and then just has like a brain fart and then restarts from the beginning. But anyways, so you move along and get past the crag. And this is what you'll see here in a moment as you move along the rest of the way. Yes, we'll go here.
As you say right off the bat, I hate the name of this map.
Well, whatever do you mean?
Oh, what could I possibly speak of?
Okay, so as you guys make your way along the ledges here and are getting to a point where you can easily walk without too much trouble, off in the distance, on part of the ledges, you see a gigantic bird's nest, which I am pinging here on the map, or the scene here. And you can clearly see, there's a pretty easy way to get over to it without much problem. Ah, yes, the rock band. Name of the episode. Perfect, thank you. Now I know to fix the name here. Yeah, and sure enough, you see a rocks, a giant bird nest. For those who would like a little more canonical point to this, if you want to give me a nature check or an insight check to see what kind of bird might make this massive of a nest, you can go ahead and do that.
I would have no clue whatsoever.
You know, we'll give it a shot. Birds with big nests, something has to stand out, right? No?
Nope, not for Marco. Marco's like,
All right.
that's a big nest.
How about that?
We got a 23 from Schmebulok. Makes sense. That makes sense. Anyone else want to care to roll for this this insight or for this check here?
Yeah, I lived my entire life underground.
True. Makes sense.
And I'm,
Most of
as
my
an
life-
aside to Kurgath, I'm just going to go. It's not a robin's nest.
Sure enough.
And a lot of my days were in the fighting pit, so I doubt this would be something I would have learned of.
Although for Schmebulok, being a learned wizard as he is, he knows right away what this is, what created this, and this, as you've already been made aware because of the name of the scene here, this is a massive rock nest. The gigantic birds that terrorize and attack at certain things, peoples and whatnot. But with that, as you make your way along the path here, at the top of the crag is an open space overlooking the majestic jungle below. A massive bird's nest hangs situated just over the ledge and nestled into the face of the cliff. Directly opposite is a large boulder with glittering veins of quartz standing over a mound of dirt. What would you like to do?
The quartz form an
Glittery.
X.
Well, you'd have to
Does-
get closer to find that out.
Yeah.
I will.
Let's go up there and make some omelets.
Pretty sure just one of those eggs would make an omelet that would feed more than just us. I would like to take a look to see if this enormous bird is around.
Go ahead and give a perception check, if you wouldn't mind.
Have you ever seen that scene from Almost Heroes?
With a 10,
Yes, I have.
you look around and you don't see any indications or signs of a rock in the nearby area.
Looks safe.
I will approach the quartz stone
Okay. As you guys approach the quartz stone, we're going to
cautiously.
shift once more to this map next.
To the battle map.
Oh, looks like I need to do something real quick here.
I was gonna say it's the darkness map. There we go.
There we are. Okay. And I'm going to need some music.
It's
Slightly
suddenly dark.
promoting.
I think the bird came home.
It doesn't look like a cloud formation.
No, somebody light a torch. If I see, never mind, I lost it.
Don't worry, I put it in the general off-topic chat in the Discord.
Tonsils, that's it. If we see tonsils when you light a torch, we're in trouble.
This cave has a tongue at the mouth.
This is not a cave.
So, you guys are at this craggy ledge here. You guys can go ahead and move up to the edge if you'd like. And you'll see a bit more of the nest and what have you.
I will stay a bit further back from the edge, thank you, but...
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, go ahead and line yourselves up where you'd like to where you'd like to be on the map here. Okay. So, in this massive bird's nest, you see a bunch of scattered and busted eggshells. Although in the center is one big, completely intact egg. Looks like if you want to go in and investigate and search it out, there's some stuff we could do that. But beyond that, this is what you see so far.
Ooh, egg.
Is there a way around?
No, you basically would have to, from the ledge, climb down through the tree limbs here to get down into the nest.
Well, wait, where is the rock with the quartz vein and the mound of dirt?
Let me... Okay, so let's see here. The face of the cliff.
I was gonna say you can just put a spell effect down for right now.
I think quite literally the mound, the quartz vein is this right here, this rock on the battle map. I believe that's the mound of dirt. The glittering vein of quartz standing over a mound of dirt. Yeah, I believe that is more or less what they're talking about. But inside of here is some other stuff. You got the
vein of quartz doesn't like shape an X, does it? I'm just thinking of the last verse of the poem.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh.
Doubling.
Last verse did mention what? A giant rock?
Well, it said, toward the giant rock I headed next and hid my treasure beneath the X.
Okay, let me see here. Okay, so here's what you see now that I understand what's going on here. With the perception check rolls from before, what do we have here? 13. Anyone else want to give a perception check? Seeing that we have this abandoned rock's nest here, or it looks like abandoned anyways.
You know, with that glowing recommendation, sure, why not?
Durgan's floor is at 12.
I just want to find the X. I don't care about the bird.
12,
Hey, that's above my floor.
9, and what did Kurgath? What did you get?
My original perception check was a 10.
Okay. It looks like inside of the nest there's some more dirt around the main egg itself, and you can see some discarded wine bottles. From this vantage point, Durgan, it looks like that might be an X that they were talking about. Very loosely, it looks like the wine bottles itself could be an X next to the rock egg here.
I think maybe that Bonny Bard hid the treasure in the nest.
Well, that tracks.
No, what is that? What is that, a 15, 20-foot jump to the nest? Or are the branches solid enough to walk on?
Go ahead and give me a nature check or survival check, whichever one's better.
Whoa.
Oh, it's a shame.
I think it's perfectly safe.
Yeah, everything looks good. Looks like you could definitely climb on those tree branches and head on down. No
like
problem.
a set of granite steps.
Now, I also want to point out, I have a grappling hook and rope.
This is true.
You've definitely made sure to always have rope with that grappling hook ever since a particular occasion.
Grappling hook and no rope. Ting, 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 ting. Right. I'm just actually proud that I remembered to get the rope.
I think those branches could support me, guys.
Takes his first step, just tumbles down.
But I'm gonna back up.
You know, no. I'm gonna give him advantage by looking over and helping him appraise the situation.
Okay, go ahead and give another roll there in your perception check. Or survival check there, Durgan. With Marco's assistance here. A little better! You're like, yeah! I got this.
I'm gonna take a few steps back, get a running head start, and try and jump to the nest. But I'm pretty confident if I fuck this up, the branches are gonna save me.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
This is just because he would actually survive the fall, right?
Maybe.
Dice don't fail me now.
Ooh.
Thank you.
You know what? This is a skill check. I'm going to give him advantage or inspiration.
Okay, go ahead and react. Go ahead and just roll the d6 there, Marco, and
Yeah.
Mark
I'll
yourself.
subtract the.
Yeah, mark yourself one down.
Don't worry, I have lay on hands.
All right, so
All right.
we have 11. That's more than enough here. As you know, Durgan takes a running, takes a couple steps back, takes a running dash out, and then jumps, lands, hits kind of hard, but then rolls it out and somehow, luckily, comes back out on top with standing on his feet. And sure enough, if a rock could sit on this and lay some eggs, you're pretty sure this is very sturdy as it is. So, Kurgath, Marco, Schmebulok, what are you three doing?
I'm going to secure my grappling hook to a sturdy-looking rock. I will probably need a survival for that, but... And then I'm going to...
Gotta wait till he lands
As you tie it to it, as you tie it to its talon.
I'm going to attach the grappling hook, forget to attach the rope, and then take a running leap. No, I'm going to attach the rope and then tie myself to it and then take a running leap.
Okay.
Using acrobatics.
Sure. With the rope there giving you a bit of confidence, go ahead and give me acrobatics at advantage. All right.
All right.
We are just stellar tonight, guys.
Looks like a 13, regardless, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Marco, we'll say you get caught up and land like on the edge of the nest here. Who's next?
I will untie the rope so that people can untie it at their leisure and tie it to themselves. Or tie it to themselves, I mean.
Okay.
I guess I'll go next.
Sure.
I'm gonna keep a lookout for the bird.
That's what I'm going to do
before-
from up here.
Before I go down, I want to use guidance on Kurgath. He's a big guy. If he's coming this way, you might need a little extra helping hand.
Okay.
So, is that something I can target him with and actually cast?
It works. We'll just add the 3 to his roll then.
He'd be the one rolling it. So.
Technically, maybe not. I mean, technically no, because guidance is a reaction, so you would roll it.
It says right there the target can add a d4.
It can roll the die before or after making.
Okay. Well, in any event, we got the 3 out of the way. It's just, I think, Foundry and the way Foundry works with some of its stuff. We'll just add the 3 on to the roll there. I mean, it's pretty high. It's higher than the average for a D4.
All right. You need athletics for me to get over there? Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Let's do it.
You're using the rope that Marco had set up?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll that at advantage.
Acrobatics or athletics? Do you care?
Whichever is better for you. Ooh, an 8.
Ooh.
All right, so, climbing, this kind of adventuring stuff, not the greatest for Schmebulok, and you start to, you get your hands onto the rope, and you're like, oh, this is terrible, this feels horrible, and you start to climb down, and like, maybe you get your foot caught into one of the branches, and you're like, and you twist your ankle just a bit, and you let go, and just fall a few feet and crash next to Marco, prone on the edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark you as prone for a moment. Kurgath, what are you doing?
I will walk to the edge.
He just takes the half step down.
Man, what it's like to actually have legs.
I know, right?
I'm going to take a quick look around for the bird, just to be on the safe side.
The bird
Everybody's
has
looking
already
out for the bird.
flown down next to Durgon there.
Everyone's looking for the bird, but no one pays attention to giant parasites in the nest.
This is interesting over here.
Yeah. I couldn't see what was going on with that. Go on. Carry on.
So yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick scan to see just to make sure the rock isn't on its way.
Right.
And then yeah, I guess I'll proceed down via the rope.
Okay. Go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics, however you want to go down the side here.
All right, athletics with a +3.
All right, 15. Easily you make your way down to the side of the ledge here. And you get down onto the edge of the rock's nest here. And as you do that, you all hear the sounds of movement from behind you. And behind you, at the edge of the ledge here, you see this. A bunch of red-coated pirates following up behind you. And the one in particular, this one right here, let me ping her, looks to be more prominent than the others. She seems to be potentially the one in charge. And as you look at her, let's see here. She's a middle-aged halfling woman with a permanent scowl on her face. There's a cold glimmer in her ice blue eye, of the one that you can see, as she has a patch over the left one, or the other. Unfortunately, I didn't have I didn't read that section of it, so it looks like she has normal eyes, but she's wearing a patch. And, because of this patch, maybe she has a bit of a chip on her shoulder, but she has this glare to her that, makes it a little more disturbing. And the patch itself, as you look, has an eye pattern stitched onto it, so it gives off the appearance that she has 2 eyes. And she walks up to the steps of the side clapping, and she looks at you all, and she's just in a gloating manner. Well, you've saved me so much trouble having to follow you all up here. I thought you wouldn't have made it from the ocean when I had destroyed your ship, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop you here, because whatever treasure you find up here belongs rightfully to me. But we'll have to decide that next week. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh.
And we will end episode 4 and part 3 of the side quest for the Bonny Bard's treasure here, and maybe have run into an encounter or something.
Why do I
next
always
game.
start the fights in the back? I told you I should be the last one.
It's a really good question.
And
truth
yet
be told.
you're the one who chose to jump in the nest first.
Well, you know, I'm not going to send you guys to test my problems.
Okay, so to end off tonight here, we'll give everyone 125 XP for finishing up the encounters with the shaman, talking with the shaman, getting Marco back together, getting through the crag section there, and eventually, making your way down into this little rock nest here. So that's beneficial for Marco, because Marco will level up to level 2 now. Everyone else is already level 2, so that will be extremely helpful, and we will deal with this encounter hopefully next week. So, thank you all so much for watching. Candyholic, Hair Doctor, and I think that's it. I think we only had the 2, besides everyone else, jumping into chat with Sean and Mike. Thank you so much for checking on those and, seeing what's going on here. Thank you all so much for watching tonight's game. We'll also end the poll here with what's your favorite base 1 D&D class? So it's basically suggesting what is your overall favorite type of, class, be it fighter or monk or whatever. And it looks like with 38% of the vote, most people that voted, with 8 votes, chose warrior. We had a tie for priest and expert classes, and mage coming in last, although I'd be surprised if, you had more than 8 votes, if the mage wouldn't come out on top, because a lot of people love magic users and whatnot. But thanks for everyone that voted in that. Go ahead.
I think we're actually all human fighters at heart.
Yeah.
Because we struggle.
Oh yeah, I love fighting humans.
Anyways,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
thank you all so much for watching episode 4 of the Ever Sidequesters quest here for the Bonny Bard, and making their way to the top of this volcanic mountain here. We'll see what happens with this pirate interaction next week, and So this is me, Andrew, as always, asking the question, are your encounters even rated? Thank you all so much for joining us, and if you've listened to this or watched this later on, you're also amazing as well. Anyone else want to say something as we head out for the night? Anyone got anything?
Holiday seasons are coming up, so make sure you guys stay safe.
Yeah, definitely stay safe with all that. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you later. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.